Hello and welcome back to Cymru Rails. Today is a bit of a special one as we're actually celebrating reaching 2,000 subscribers on the channel. I'm just going to go on a bit of a journey today and talk you through things like my passion for trains, model railways, heritage railways, and how I got started on YouTube. We're also diving into a Q&A session later, answering questions that have been sent in by you guys, so let's get started. First and foremost, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for helping me grow the channel and reach this milestone of 2,000 subscribers. When I started making videos on the channel, I never imagined so many people would be interested in these little train videos I've been putting up, so your support truly means the world to me and I'm really grateful to be part of this community. I'm especially touched to hear that the model railway exhibition videos have been helpful to some of you who may not have been able to have the opportunity to attend these shows in person. Knowing that I'm able to bring a piece of the show to you, whether that be to financial constraints you're not able to travel or health reasons, it's incredibly rewarding and I'm glad it's helping so many people. Now, I haven't actually told you guys my name, so my name is Daniel. Like many others of my generation, my fascination with trains began at a young age with Thomas the Tank Engine. I spent countless hours as a kid watching the VHS tapes and also collecting the little die-cast toys, which I used to absolutely love those. It was through Thomas that I developed this love for the railways and model trains and steam railways, loads of different things all sort of branched out of that basically. My journey into the world of steam trains sort of began when, as a kid, I went to the Gwilly Steam Railway, which is my local heritage railway. Seeing these steam engines up close, it just sparked my passion as a kid and it's only grown stronger over the years. My first introduction to model railways came through a Christmas gift which I got from my parents, which was the Harry Potter Hogwarts Express set from Hornby. So from there I delved deeper into the world of model railways. I started attending exhibitions. There aren't many exhibitions in my little corner of Wales, but there are a few that I used to attend then. A few years ago I attended an open day at Barry and Penarth Model Railway Club and decided to film some of the layouts that were on display. This was actually one of the first shows I'd attended in a couple of years at that point. So afterwards I noticed that nobody had uploaded any videos of the event and some of the layouts there were really great little layouts, so I decided to upload my video to YouTube. So I created a channel which initially was called Welsh Rail and then I later changed that to Cymru Rails. So yeah, I uploaded the footage there for others to enjoy. Admittedly, if you happen to stumble upon that first video, I must warn you it's quite dreadful compared to what you might see in some of the later videos. Over the past 2 years I've been uploading more videos which are far better quality, and those early videos I was just sort of doing it on like a terrible camera and it's all shaky, so I don't recommend you go back and watch them, but I leave them up just so people can go back if they want to see them, but yeah, they're not very good. So it wasn't till about last year sometime that I started to become a bit more active, upload a bit more, take more videos at shows that I'm going to, and upload loads of videos of the heritage lines I've been to. And in recent months I've just been overwhelmed by the growth in popularity on the channel because it's just sort of gone a bit crazy. So yeah, and it's been really good. But enough about me. Today it's all about answering some questions now, so without further ado, let's dive into the Q&A. So the first question I've had today is how long have you been interested in trains and the hobby? So I think I sort of covered this in the background intro in the beginning, but yes, from a young age, and it was Thomas the Tank Engine that sort of introduced me into all the hobby. So the next question I have is, what is your favourite memory of trains in general? So trains in general would probably be getting the Hogwarts Express layout as a kid. Recent memory though, definitely be visiting the Talyllyn Railway for the first time in 2022. I'd always wanted to visit the railway and I finally got the chance when I actually went on a special Pioneers trip which they were doing in 2022. Not sure if they're doing them anymore, but they would stop the train at various points on the railway. You get photo opportunities at various points on the line. It was really fantastic, and I've actually got a full video of the trip which included a tour of the sheds at Pendray. So if you're interested in that, I highly recommend going and having a look at that video. I'll link to it in the corner of the video. The next question is your layout 00 gauge, O gauge, N gauge, or something else? So my layout is 00 gauge because that is what I was sort of introduced into model railways with the Hogwarts Express train set. I haven't ventured into any other scales. I do have a series on the channel where I am going through the process of building up my permanent layout, which can be found on the channel if you're interested. The next question I have is, what is your favourite heritage railway? Without a doubt, my favourite heritage railway has to be the Talyllyn Railway. It's not just the stunning scenery or the rich history that captivates me for that heritage line, but it's the connection with the Thomas the Tank Engine books and its links with the Reverend W. Awdry. As I mentioned earlier, my most recent memorable experience I had during the Pioneers journey in 2022, where I was fortunate enough to have a lovely trip and tour of the sheds on this historic line. It was absolutely fantastic. But what sets the Talyllyn Railway apart for me is its commitment to inclusivity and diversity. Earlier this year, they made history by marking International Women's Day in a groundbreaking way. A footplate crew consisting of a mother and daughter achieved a historic milestone by driving and firing a steam train along the entire line. This remarkable event is believed to be the first time an all-female crew from 2 generations has operated a steam engine in preservation. Seeing such inclusivity and progressiveness within the railway preservation community, honestly it fills me with joy to see. It's a testament to the Talyllyn Railway's values and their dedication to breaking barriers when it comes to embracing diversity, and it's moments like these that honestly make me proud to be part of this community. The next question I have is, how do you go about finding staff to run your engine and how are they trained? So thank you for the question. While I appreciate the assumption, I'm actually not involved in running a heritage line myself. As an enthusiast and observer, I typically visit heritage railway lines to enjoy an experience as a visitor. However, I can offer some basic insight into how heritage railway lines generally find and train their staff. Typically, the heritage railway organisations recruit volunteers who are passionate about preserving railway history, and if they're willing to dedicate time and effort to the cause, these volunteers often undergo extensive training programs, which can include knowledge, practice experience to ensure that they're proficient in operating and maintaining the train safely. I would say if you're interested in becoming involved with a heritage railway as a volunteer, I definitely recommend reaching out to your local heritage railway line organisation directly. They often have all the information on their website or can provide details on how to get involved. On to the next question, which is, how do you find out where all of these trains and train shows are? So when it comes to finding out about trains and train shows, one of my main resources for model railway exhibitions is ukmodelshops.co.uk. They really have a comprehensive list of exhibitions and an event calendar, which I found incredibly helpful these last few months at keeping track of all of the different shows that are happening across the UK. However, it's important to note that not every show is actually listed on this calendar. In some cases, especially with smaller local shows, they may not be published online through traditional channels. I think it might be because there's often a different generation, I'll say, involved with organising these events, that they're not actually publicised online, which means that they can actually fly under the radar and you don't hear about it until they've already happened. In those instances, I often rely on word of mouth within the railway enthusiast community. If you're on Facebook, I recommend joining a couple of the groups on there, because people often put the photos of posters in there which aren't available online, so it's the only way you often hear about them is through those. It's unfortunate that not all events are widely publicised, but discovering these little gems through connections is, a bit rewarding in and of itself, I suppose. So while the UK Model Shop's website is good for planning things out, often staying connected with other enthusiasts and keeping your ear to the ground for local events is also quite helpful, to be honest. So the next question I have is, where are some good train shows at in Pennsylvania, PA? So thank you for the question. As I'm based in the UK, I'm not very familiar with Pennsylvania at all, so I would recommend reaching out to a local model railroad organisation or an enthusiast group in your area for the most accurate and up-to-date information. These organisations will be more than happy to help you out and probably provide you some information with the train show scene in your region. Honestly, by just giving a quick Google search for Pennsylvania model railway shows, the results were right there, and I could see them, so I'd recommend just searching around yourself because I'm not the expert for that. Hope this helps, and best of luck in your search for train shows in Pennsylvania. The next question I have is, how do you know what time trains are passing by? Do you have to do a lot of planning to capture the videos of them? So thank you for the question. When it comes to capturing videos of trains passing by, timing is key. So for recordings of Network Rail, I rely on websites like Real Time Trains for the most accurate and up-to-date information on train schedules. This allows me to plan ahead and ensure that I'm in the right place at the right time to see them. So for heritage railways, I typically check their individual websites for information on when they are running or special events. This helps me schedule my visits so that I can actually see the trains and record them in action at the specific spots. I sort of time ahead, so if the train's leaving at 1 o'clock, I know it'll be at a certain point of the line. If it's there in like half an hour, I can add half an hour to that. 1:30 is going to be there. So while there's certainly some planning involved, I also just enjoy going to a station and just seeing what locomotives show up. I don't actually plan an awful lot of that. Any of the videos you've seen of mine where I'm just recording at a station, it's often just like I'm stood at a station, there's a train passing by, I record it, and I think that's the beauty of it, to be honest. The next question I have is, when are you doing a collab with Francis Bourgeois? So collaborating with him would certainly be exciting, but as a smaller channel, I don't think it's something that's currently on the horizon, possibly ever. However, who knows? Who knows? While it might not be likely at the moment, you never know. Never say never. So the next question I have is, what is the best model railway exhibition you've ever been to? So without a doubt, one of the best exhibitions I've ever been to was Worley National Model Railway Exhibition. I had the pleasure of attending last year for the first time, and it was definitely an unforgettable experience, one of the largest shows I've ever been to. But then it actually turned out to be the last ever show at the NEC under that sort of banner, because Worley announced in January that the show was going to be on hold indefinitely. I know that there is actually a similar show now taking over at the NEC, so if you're interested in going to that, hopefully it'll have similar vibes and the same sort of people there. The final question I have is, what is the best way for new rail enthusiasts to get into model railways? So for new rail enthusiasts looking to get into model railways, attending a local model railway show is an excellent way to dive into the hobby. These shows are not only filled with incredible layouts and displays, but honestly it's a chance to meet someone else who's also interested in trains, and you can ask questions and gain inspiration that way. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions, and to all of you that are subscribed to the channel and that are enjoying the videos. Your support really means so much to me, and I'm really happy to be engaging with the community and contributing to everyone in the community. It really has brought me a lot of joy these last few months, putting these videos up and knowing that it's resonating with so many people and that I'm able to offer something valuable to you. Thank you very much for watching.